amused? No, not at all. I think what these guys do in our Dominican Academy and Delmarva and Aberdeen and Gulf Coast League and Frederick and Bowie and Delmarva I've already mentioned and Norfolk. I take very seriously the stuff they have to do to get the opportunities and do what they're doing. And, you know, somebody will sell some tickets in the spring. I should be careful. We may sign him. But, you know, I bet he was a good player in high school. I was too. And I played quarterback. Stop.
Shots fired. I bet he was a good player in high school. I was too. That was Orioles manager Buck Showalter, clearly not so hot on Tim Tebow in Major League Baseball. Max, is Buck wrong?
Buck Showalter has, I mean, you just watch that. He's charismatic. He's a great personality. You know, you love him. You watch him, you go, boy, and he's old school, and he's right about it, right? And Buck, thank you for what you did for my beloved Yankees. He got him right there. Joe Torre came in and put him over the top, but Buck got him right there. I'm forever grateful. Whew. So, Stephen A., this isn't easy to say, but I think I have to do it. Buck, get off your high horse.
Oh.
He's got to get off his high horse here, Stephen A. Look, Buck Showalter stands on principle. I get it. And principle, which is the way he runs an organization, works for him. That's the way he runs a ball club. Before Buck Showalter, you know, signs off on, yeah, I think we should draft this guy or sign this guy, he asks everybody about him. The parking lot attendant, how does he treat you? How does this guy act? He wants to know really about character. So he's all about principle, and you have to respect that. And clearly it works. It also, in addition to being the right thing to do, it gets results. So what Buck doesn't like here is someone's kind of circumventing the system. All these young kids are putting in all this hard work, and somehow Tebow comes in with his celebrity, and he gets to take a shortcut, and that does not sit well with Buck. I get that. But practically speaking, what are we really talking about here? Let's say Tebow goes to low A ball. And he's going to take one person's spot on the roster. He's going to take the 25th best player in low A ball spot on the roster in the history of the universe. The 25th best player in low A ball has never made the major leagues. And unless he was so young that he, like, really shouldn't have even been there because he was so young and that's how talented he was, or he started juicing. I mean, barring one of those two circumstances, that guy has never, ever made the major leagues. He's not taking might be doing the kid a favor, actually, because that kid ain't getting far. Let's say he goes to Double-A where the prospects, or high A ball, some league where there are live arms and stuff and prospects to really see what he's got. He's not going to last there. What is he going to delay someone's development by 2 or 3 months before we all figure out he can't play baseball? What harm is there really? On principle, I get it. But the practical, you know, the pragmatic approach says, how much harm is there really? And if he succeeds at that level, well, then you really just were standing on principle. He belonged there. Either way, I understand why Buck's upset here. But sports is not just competition, Stephen A. It's also entertainment. And if Tebow uses his celebrity to get himself some extra opportunities and employers are willing to employ him and give him that look, if he can't perform, he'll be out of there. If he can, he actually deserved it in the first place. Buck, get off your high horse. I'm sorry. Oh, I don't like saying that, but he has to get off his high horse.
Well, first of all, I would deeply appreciate it if you wouldn't feel the need to apologize. If you think he needs to get off his high horse, let him get. So what? It doesn't matter. It is what it is. But let me say this. Max Kellerman, I'm sorry I have to go here, but maybe it's a black thing and you wouldn't understand, and Showalter does better than you. I don't understand how that's possible, but it might be the case here. Allow me to sit up here and break this down for you. I appreciate, and I 1,000% agree with Buck Showalter's point, his cynicism, and beyond. And while I'm speaking about Buck Showalter, I want to give my man Adam Jones, who tweeted the other day pretty much the same thing about how he was going to go and play in the NFL once the offseason for Major League Baseball arrives, because after all, he used to play a little football in high school himself. You see the cynicism and the skepticism being thrown in the direction of Tim Tebow and all of us who would support him, including people like you, certainly not me. And here's why, Max Kellerman, because if you're Buck Showalter, what you're alluding to is the fact that here is a young man who hasn't played baseball since high school. There is something called protocol. There is something called a process that Tim Tebow methodically goes about the business of circumventing. I'm not hating on him. I'm not knocking him. It doesn't make him a criminal. It doesn't make him a bad person in any way. Tim Tebow is a very good man and a very nice man who does a great job for us here at ESPN. Only thing I've ever said about him is that he can't throw a football. I never thought to question his baseball skills because I never knew anything about them. I understand the great Gary Sheffield, who smacked 509 home runs in his career, spoke up for Tim Tebow. I get all of that. But the point that you are missing, that I think Gary Sheffield was missing, dare I say, that Buck Showalter is on the money about, is alluding to the work that so many people put in just to strive to get noticed. And all Tim Tebow has to do is get a publicist to leak the information, and everyone will clamor to watch him and to see what he's worth. Why? For one reason and one reason only: because he's liked. And how many people have that luxury, particularly in the United States of America? There are a plethora of individuals, they can't be numbered, that are out there pounding the pavement, grinding, starving for one opportunity to be recognized. Nobody gives a damn about them. But Tim Tebow, because he's loved, because we appreciate how he invokes God and Jesus Christ with practically everything that he says, and how he's the walking embodiment of decency, because that's who we like as a person. We're going to sit there and elevate his stature and his cachet in a public forum where he gets to get recognized for things he doesn't deserve to be recognized for.
Let me get this straight.
He has done nothing on the baseball level that warrants anybody even going to look at him take a swing. He has done nothing on the baseball level. We had footage of him on television the other day taking a swing taking swings, all right, in batting practice. He has done nothing
so let me get this straight.
that warrants national attention for that. But he's getting it, isn't he? Because he's Tim Tebow.
So let me get this straight.
That ain't right.
If you have the ability to get an opportunity that others do not, you should not exercise that ability?
That is not, no, I did not say that.
So,
Max,
if that's the case, then you should get on the teams that are looking at him, not him.
Hold it. I specifically said, if you were listening to me, I did not blame Tim Tebow in any way. If I were him, I would have done the same thing.
So you're mad at the teams?
It's not his fault. The teams and the media. He has done nothing to deserve this opportunity. If that's the case, I got a whole bunch of brothers in Hollis, Queens who play stickball at 190 PS 192 Park in Hollis. They could swing a bat, Max.
By the way,
you walk to
Michael
the baseball
Jordan
field,
got a contract.
excuse me.
Michael Jordan got a minor league contract.
And he didn't deserve it.
Right.
He didn't deserve it,
yeah,
Max.
but it's Michael Jordan. But it's Michael Jordan, and of course he achieved on a much higher level than Tebow.
But he didn't deserve it. The point is.
So you mean to tell me that if someone takes the last spot on the roster of a low minor league, that means they're taking the opportunity, quote unquote, of someone who's never going to make the majors anyway, because the media is interested and the fans are interested and it generates business.
We understand.
Even though he's going to fail and it will be short-lived anyway, that's a problem.
You're being narrow-minded. The fact of the matter is that we understand why. He's a name. It's name recognition.
Sure.
It attracts eyeballs. Eyeballs attract ratings. Ratings generate revenue. We get it. But what Buck Showalter was alluding to is from a principled perspective. There are millions of people who are out there who are better and who are more worthy and will never get recognized just because they ain't popular.
What you're talking about...
Hold on. In the case of Tim Tebow, here's what makes it worse than Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player we've ever seen. He was a 3-time champion when he retired. And so as a result, we wanted to see what he had. He didn't deserve the opportunity in baseball himself, but it makes sense because he was a winner somewhere. In the case of Tim Tebow, he went to the NFL. He completed 46% of his passes. Because he won 7-4 and won a playoff game, we had to treat him like a tad bit shy of Peyton Manning, where John Elway came on the record and said it took Peyton Manning to replace Tim Tebow because Tim Tebow was that popular.
What you're objecting to, what you are objecting to, you want to hear what I have to say about this? What you're objecting to is the lack of equality of opportunity. And equality of opportunity is something that is a very popular political position, both sides of the aisle, all sides of all aisles. Everyone says equality of opportunity, but we know we live in a world where that is an ideal that is likely, that certainly hasn't been achieved, and while it's commendable, according to most, that we strive for it, is unlikely to ever be perfectly achieved. And so there will always be instances, there will always be instances where someone has a certain degree of celebrity or connections or relationships or whatever the case may be that affords them some opportunity that others won't get.
That doesn't mean you be silent about it. Buck Showalter wasn't silent about it, and I'm acknowledging that he's right.
He doesn't.
That's all.
He doesn't have to love it, but the reality of the situation is Tebow is highly unlikely to take anyone's job who had a real shot at making the major leagues in the first place. If he fails, he fails, and everyone's proven right. If he somehow, against all odds, succeeds, then it turns out that this outrage is actually misplaced.
That doesn't make Showalter wrong. That doesn't make Buck Showalter wrong.
If he succeeds, yes, it does, actually.
Guys, we gotta leave it. We got to leave it there. After Tebow's baseball announcement, he did get offered a minor league contract from the Schaumburg Boomers of the Frontier League. I also want to point out, Jordan played in the White Sox system on a team owned by Jerry Reinsdorf, who also owns the Bulls.
So his celebrity plus his relationships.
I got stickball players.
Celebrity plus relationships.
They want to come to the minor league. Can they come?